These are the men of Temple University Rugby, a Division I AA sport, yet a club here at TU.
You know, if you don't fit in the category of playing a varsity sport, you don't want to be that competitive, but you also, you know, you want to be a little bit more competitive than intramural sports. Club sports is like the middle. It's the meeting, you know, like a good meeting place for that culture of people.
Varsity athletics are obviously is the varsity. Intramurals, you could say, is like a freshman team, and then sport clubs is the JV.
Temple University's campus recreation, an organization separate from the athletic department, runs the intramural athletics and sports club programs. Campus Rec defines a sports club as groups of individuals who share a common interest in a sport activity and have gained university recognition.
Create a lot of opportunities for students. It's all about student development when it comes to Campus Rec, whether it's our staff or officers from a sport club or captains from an intramural sport. You know, it's all about development and making students better and giving them a place to, you know, to feel like a part of the Temple community. You know what I mean? Some people may, you know, after high school never play varsity sport again. So to come to a college and still be able to play intramural sports or a sport club, like, that's awesome.
Definitely an opportunity for a lot of kids to still play a competitive athletic sport. I mean, to have like programs like the football program, the basketball program, where it's like there's such a drop off in athletes where kids that can play at that level compared to kids who played sports their whole lives. It's kind of like an outlet, so anybody coming out of school playing football or wrestling or anything has something that they can still do that's a challenge and competitive.
Campus Rec ranks their sports clubs by difficulty level. Out of the 27 clubs, some take more precedent than others.
We have them leveled from highly competitive, recreational, and instructional. And so within that, your highly competitive and competitive ones sometimes will have tryouts, sometimes they don't. But we have over 1,000 students right now.
Rugby, a style of football, is one of the most highly competitive sports clubs here at Temple University.
With not that many varsity rugby teams in the college world, like having a club rugby team will bring students to the university and bring students to Campus Rec.
As far as club sports go, we have more exposure across the country, so there are a lot more. Rugby is probably the most played sport in any university right now. There are more rugby teams than there are football, baseball, and anything along those kind of lines. So the fact that there's more teams playing it, we're able to play at that, we're able to create greater exposure.
Rugby alone brings a lot of recognition to Temple University, specifically because of one event. The Collegiate Rugby Championship is held in Philadelphia in June. This brings many spectators to the area and puts Temple in the spotlight.
NBC and everybody has taken on this style as a more marketable type of event. So with it being more marketable, it allows greater exposure to our sport. And so with that, it allows Temple to really stand out and our 7th program to stand out.
To have the opportunity to be the host school out of all the other city schools is a good opportunity. No other sport club could bring that event to us because you know, it's specific for rugby.
Rugby, along with the rest of the club sports, have a limited amount of funding for their season.
The sport club funding comes from 3 places. The first is from the general activity fee, which all students at the university pay. Every summer I have to present to student affairs how much we would like for sport clubs, and then they tell me if that's an okay number, and then I get a lump sum that I then divvy out to the clubs depending on what they've asked for and past history of what they've used.
From Campus Rec, they have to give the same amount of money or allot the same amount of time kind of to all the sports clubs. So whether it's badminton, if they have 15 kids, or it's the rugby team, 60, I don't know, they kind of have to balance it out.
Every sport comes with the possibility of injury. Not only is rugby no different, its extreme contact tendencies present even more.
Shoulder injuries, kind of, hamstring, stuff like that. You don't have as many concussions as everybody would think because we teach a different style of tackling, where instead of football where they put your head in front of the body, in rugby we teach them to go behind for tactical reasons as well as safety.
The boys of Temple Rugby, like all sports teams, share a bond. Sometimes the setbacks of being a sports club make them even closer.
It comes with being a club. Like, you know that you have accountability and responsibility to your club, to your teammates, and really to your friends. So you don't want to let the guys down, you don't want the coaches down, you don't let the fans down. So
I don't know, it might sound kind of cliche to say that it's like a brotherhood or a family, but it's kind of like the guys you spend most of the time with. I don't know, it's the guys you live with or study with, or you find kids on the team that are in the same major and do homework with them and take classes with them and work out with them. It's like we get a lot more into it than just the title of a club sport would give you.
For Broadcast News Documentary, I'm Gabrielle Perozzi.